The daughter was about to tell her mom to get up when she realized that her mom's hand was leaning against the bed frame. Looking at her daughter's curious expression, the woman hurriedly explained that she did this because she was afraid that the bed would be stolen by thieves. However, the daughter turned her head to look at the man aside.
Are you my daddy?
No, he's just a nice man that's helping.
At this time, the man hurriedly picked up the keys on the table. Want to help the woman unlock, but pouring half a day, but how cannot open. The woman had no choice but to drag the bed frame to send her daughter to school. The woman's name is Rosie, originally recognized as the goddess of the school. But because of the childhood sweetheart in front of his face and other girls flirting, actually in a fit of anger and pursue their own boys together. But soon she came to her senses and she hurriedly ran away from the boy's house, not realizing that soon after she found out she was pregnant. This was like a bolt from the blue for her, and her first thought was to abort the baby. But for the religious parents, this was never allowed. Rosie was a bit devastated for a while. She wasn't ready to be a mom, let alone know how to tell her childhood friend about it. The two had made plans to go to college together in America, and she had fantasized that they would begin a beautiful love affair by then. However, now it was all out of the question. The next day, her childhood friend found Rosie, very excited that she had been accepted to Harvard University. Rosie squeezed out a smile to congratulate Will, and when Will asks her if she has received her acceptance letter, she hesitates and then lies that she didn't get in, while hiding the news that she is pregnant. She decides to give the baby away when it's born and fly to America to find Will then. The day Will left, both of them were a little upset. They are both deeply in love with each other, but both are afraid to confess. They are afraid of being rejected by the other side, afraid of breaking the window paper. Both sides cannot even do friends. In the end, they said their final goodbyes with a tight hug. Watching Will's back, Rosie's eyes have long been unknowingly red. She secretly resolved to give the child away immediately after the birth of the child, and then flew to the United States to confess her love to Will. However, the moment the child was born, the feeling of being connected to the bloodline made Roxy instantly dismiss the idea of giving the child away. She gave up going to the United States to find Will, and began to take on the responsibility of being a mother. She worked as a waitress in a hotel while taking care of the baby. Despite the hard work, Rosie enjoys it. Until this day Will suddenly appeared at her door. She hurriedly put away the things about the child. But she didn't realize that Will had already learned about her having a child from her friends. She thought Will would be very angry, but did not expect Will Phil, but did not blame her intention to hide, but also very gentle coaxing the child to sleep, and even took the initiative to propose to be the child's godfather. Looking at the man in front of her eyes, she wished that time could stay forever in this beautiful moment. They came to the beach. Rosie to Will confessed everything.
I think, not telling you, there was at least someone out there who still saw me as Rosie. And not this strange new person I've become.
Will didn't say anything, just slowly opened his hand wide. Rosie put her hand on it, and the two of them clasped their fingers together. At this time the breeze blew gently. Rosie's heart felt incomparably warm. A week later, Will arrived at the time to return to school. Looking at Rosie behind him, he had an impulse to stay in spite of everything. However, he did not have a suitable identity. Time has passed 5 years. At this time, Rosie not only worked more and more competent, but also never neglected the growth of her daughter. As long as there is time, she will be accompanied by her daughter. On the other hand, Will also talked about a girlfriend, but because he often and Rosie mother and daughter telephone, resulting in his girlfriend's heart is very uncomfortable. After many arguments, his girlfriend broke up with him. The first time after the breakup, he found Rosie to confide in. Under the ghost, he invited Rosie to come to the United States to play. Rosie was so happy that she flew up, and then bought a ticket to fly to the United States without stopping. As soon as they met, Rosie was so excited that she jumped into Will's arms. They went to the bar together and danced, went to the pool together and cuddled, and also wandered around the streets of the United States at 4 a.m. together to take pictures. They looked as if they were a couple in love. Rosie thought the two were about to start a romantic and happy love. However, on this day, Will's ex-girlfriend suddenly invited them to have dinner together, saying that she went to the hospital yesterday for a checkup and the doctor told her that she was pregnant. Rosie was in pain and got up to leave the place. Will rushes out after her, but an emotionally out of control Rosie gets into a huge fight with him and then walks away without looking back. After Rosie left, Will slammed his fist into the billboard in anger. Much as he wants to go after Rosie and confess his feelings to her out loud, his ex-girlfriend is pregnant and he has no choice but to stay. This day Rosie is working. His daughter's biological father suddenly came to the door. It turned out that he already knew that Rosie's child is his, and he has come here in the hope of taking on the responsibility of fatherhood. Perhaps wanting to end her feelings for Will, or perhaps wanting to give her daughter a complete family, Rosie agrees to Gray's marriage proposal. Will had mixed feelings when he received Rosie's wedding invitation. A month later, Rosie held the wedding as scheduled, and Will did not show up. When Rosie dialed Will's home phone again, it was Will's ex-girlfriend who picked up. From the other side of the mouth, she learned that the two broke up on the day of her wedding. It turns out that Will's ex-girlfriend is pregnant with someone else's child. The reason why she lied that it was Will's, just want to stir up Will and Rosie's feelings. Rosie is a bit shocked to hear this, and at night she lies in bed but can't sleep. The two met again. Watching the two walk away, Will's heart felt a little bad. Maybe he didn't want to hide his feelings for Rosie. Will wrote all his feelings for Rosie on a piece of paper and sent it to Rosie, but he didn't expect the letter to be seen by Gray and hidden. Seeing that Rosie did not reply to the letter, Will finally let go of his feelings for Rosie. One day soon after, Rosie broke Gray's secret and angrily filed for divorce from Gray. As a result, when she was packing up her things and preparing to move out, she accidentally found the letter Will had written to her.
It's not the man for you, Rose. Twice I thought you something. Stop being afraid to take the chance. And then you'll reconnect you have been. And if you feel the same way. Move that.
It wasn't until this moment that Rosie finally realized how Will felt about her. She can't wait to contact Will, but unexpectedly she learns that Will is about to get married. But in spite of this, she is still unwilling to let go. Because over the years she has missed each other too many times. This time she does not want to miss each other no matter what. She immediately took a plane and rushed to the United States, wanting to hurry before Will's wedding to tell Will that she has been in love with him for so many years. But when she arrived at her destination, she found that Will had already finished the wedding with his bride. At this moment, her heart was full of grief, but she also relieved. Perhaps the two were destined for each other after all. She sent her best wishes to Will. Since the two were not destined to be together, she hoped that someone else could love Will in her place. 2 years passed, and Rosie opened her own inn. On the day of the opening, a familiar figure walked in, and it was none other than the man he longed for, Will.
I guess I need a room.
Any baggage?
Fine.
So will your wife.
Won't be joining me. We both knew it wasn't right.
Sea view or garden view, I recommend the sea.
See it is.
So the two went around and around, and eventually came together. Sometimes like a person may wish to boldly point, do not wait until the loss and then regret. After all, not everyone can go round and round over you.